So friends and family, I'm about to do crochet braids and I am using the free tress boho hippie braid. I am seeing that this thing is really stiff. The hair is extremely stiff, right? So basically it's like the movement. Look at this. So this is out of the pack, right? Look at this. It's sticking out. See that? It's sticking out. That's not going to work for me. I need something to be flexible. I need it to have movement. So what I am doing is, as I take it out of the packet, I am dipping it in hot water, straighten it out, curl it the way that I want to curl it, dip it back in hot water, and I'm coming up with more flexible curls. So if you want to see how this is done, stay tuned. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna be using the flexirods, right? Nice foamy, flexible, so that I can get my curls. I'll leave it in here just to have some control like this, and then I'm gonna pour my hot water in this thing and I'm gonna dip it in. So I just boiled this. I'm gonna pour it in here. Let me show you. I gotta change the camera angle. Let's look on down, down, down. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Yes, ma'am. So I'm pouring this in here. It's hot, 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 right? If you want to pour it on here as you go, you can do that, but you don't have to. You can just wait till you pour everything and then you dip it in. So there it is, right? And then I'm gonna dip it in up to where the curls are. Straight, pull it out, dip it in, pull it out, dip it in. All right, so now we have it like this, right? What I'm gonna do, leave this to cool off and pick up the other packet that I already did. This is what it looks like when it's dry. This is what it looks like when it's dry. It's nice and, you know, it has movement. So now I divide it up in two sections. I take one side, right? And I need to hurry up because my water is still nice and hot. So I twist it around here and then I fold it over to keep the end tucked in. Then I twist the rest of it around here. Nice and smooth. You want to keep it nice and smooth, right? I don't go all the way up. I just go up to about here. I don't want all this to be curled up. And so then I fold this back over for the other part of the curl so that it stays together like this. Then I dip it in the water. Be careful, the water is hot, right? So I stay in here, keep it in there. It's better to do both first. You know, remember I divided it in two, to do both halves first, but I wanted to show you what it looks like first. Okay. Take it out, let it drain. I have my towel down here, it's gonna drain on here. Okay, let it drain. And I'll show you what the end result looks like. So this is it all drained and dried. I'm taking the flexirod off and we're gonna see my new curl pattern. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is my new curl pattern. Look at that. Gorgeous, bouncy, and flexible. See that? So that's how you make this more flexible, okay? So I'm gonna do this to the rest of the packs and then I'm gonna come back and show you how I install it. So this is what it's looking like fluffed out. Look at this. Do you see this, guys? So gorgeous, and definitely plenty of movement, So I'm going to do my braids, my cornrows, and then I'm going to show you my braid pattern, and then I'm going to install these. I'll show you how I install it, but of course it's nothing new. I mean, there are plenty of videos out there that show you, how to install crochet braid, but I really wanted you guys to see how flexible you can make these now so that it's much easier, to put in your hair and love it. Now, the other thing is, so remember that originally they're squiggly braids, they're like, you did a cornrow or huge braids and you took them out. You can also do that. So instead of using the rollers like I did, instead of using the flexirods like I did, you can just do, some thick braids and dip that in the hot water. The whole point is that dipping them in the hot water gives them that flexibility and that movement so that your braids look nice and don't look like they're truly manufactured off some conveyor belt by somebody who has no idea what a braid should look like. Okay, so that's it. I'm leaving these to dry and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm all done with the braid pattern. This is where I'm gonna have my part. And I have my last braid sticking out here. I'm just gonna crochet it in and then I'm gonna show you what the back looks like. Again, it's very, very simple. Just do whatever braid pattern is easy for you because the crochet is gonna cover everything. You know what I mean? So, pulling in my end of this braid here now, making sure it's hidden and tucked away. Do one more, pull it through here, and maybe one more, and pull it through right there, and I think we're good. So my hair is still very, very short. It's, well, not very, very short. It's about 3 inches long, and for me, I need more than that when I'm braiding. So it's still got some fuzziness on top of the braids, but again, the crochet is gonna hide it. So this is the braid pattern. I have, of course, all here going back, and then I have this side going this way at the back because I want the crochet to fall down this way. When you have it in rows at the back, they seem to line up in rows, and I don't like that. So I just want to make sure that they fall over each other at the back to give me my cascading curls. Okay, and so that's the braid pattern that I use. It's very simple and easy to do. Now, the next thing that I do is I drown my hair and my scalp in castor oil, organic castor oil, right? And I do this because even though I don't intend for the braids to be tight, they do end up being tight. And so I definitely don't want to pull out my edges, and I definitely also don't want to put the crochet in right away, because that when you put the crochet in, even if you put the crochet on top of the cornrows, it still makes your braid tighter. It still makes your hair tighter. So I'm definitely not putting the crochet in today. I usually wait at a minimum 2 days before I put the crochet in after I do this. So I just put a wig on it. You know what I mean? I wait a minimum 2 days. I want the hair to be definitely a little bit more relaxed before I put the crochet in. So making sure I have castor oil in all the lines, everywhere, right? So my hair is definitely drowning in castor oil right now. And I make sure, especially here in the middle, where I have a lot of gray hairs, and the hair there has become a lot more delicate as I've gotten older. And I think it's because I did a lot of weaves ending there. So the scalp there is a little more tender than the rest of the hair, even more tender than my edges. And the hair there is now more fragile. So after doing this, of course, I cover my head with a plastic cap. I do this because I want the heat from my head to stay in the plastic cap and therefore warm my head, open up the pores, and then, you know, the oil can seep in to my scalp. So that's why I do that. And I do that for the next couple of nights because, again, I need to keep my hair on my head. Okay, so I go to bed like this for the next couple of days, and then I will put my crochet on later, and I will show you exactly how I do it. Again, it's not rocket science. So many people do it. One of the things I wanted to show you guys is that I used what they call acrylic hand machine knitting yarn to do the braids. You can get them in all kinds of colors, so it's easier for me to braid with this. It's already kind of separated for you, so you just cut it, and that's what I used to do my, that's what I used to do my cornrows. All of this, the cornrows that you see, this is what I used. It's much easier. I mean, what you see is what you get. It's this thin, so you can have two, double it up, however you want to do it. And, you know, it's a whole, you know, lot, and very, very, very cheap, very cheap, very easy to use. So that's what I used for the yarn this time. I'm sorry. So that's what I used to do the braids this time. Last time I used nothing at all. I didn't use any hair pieces or this, and my crochet ended up coming out because some of my hairs, you know, the cornrows just pull out of the braid. And so this time I decided, let me help it along a little bit with, you know, some of that wool, and braided it through. So this time nothing's gonna pull out, and I can hopefully keep this crochet in for a couple of months, because last time I kept it in for about a full month, maybe 4 weeks, maybe, if that. And I started seeing little parts where, you know, my hair was out. And you know how my hair, I dyed it before, I bleached it and dyed it. So it wasn't blending with the color of the crochet, okay? So it was just sticking out. I'm like, okay, ain't a video time for that. So I had to, you know, learn my lesson there. And this time I added the people call it yarn, people call it wool. And it definitely made it easier to do the braid, you know, and I didn't have to struggle to keep my hair in the cornrow this time. So that's it for now. And when I come back, I will show you how I do the crochet, and then of course a finished look with my lovely recurled, you know, boho, bohemian, free tress, whatever they call it. And then you guys will see the finished look, and that'll be my birthday look. Okay, so I'll be back in a couple of days.